Hey guys, this is Navneet from the LFE forum, and today we're going to talk about some of the logic formulas. Let's look at them one by one. First, we're going to look at the if formula. The way we look at it is, for example, from this data sets, we have sales reps who sold in each of these regions and whether they are related to the technology sector or not. Now, for example, if I need to select all employees or sales reps with sales more than $250, the way I would use the if statement is if sales is greater than 250, which is the criteria, I would have to put the value if it is true, which is the yes, and then value if it is false, which is no. And when I copy and paste it across the rows, what I get is if the sales rep had sold for more than $250 or not. Now this is a very simple if statement. Now let's look at a bit complex if statement. I need to select all of the sales reps with sales more than $250, and the second condition is they should have sold it in the West region. The way I would construct this if statement is, let me open the first if statement. If sales is greater than $250. Now I need to check another logic, which is if the region is West. The way I would do it is, again starting an if statement, if the region equals West. And if that condition is true, at this point I need an S, because this is going to logically check both sales as well as the region. And if both of these are false, then I need a no. Now I have closed the inner if statement. I need to close again the outer if statement by putting a no. So when I press enter, Excel gives me the answer of whether the conditions are met, both the conditions are met. And when I copy and paste this across the rows, what Excel gives is, if both these statements are true, if the region is in the West and the sales is more than $250, the Excel prints the output as yes. If not, it puts a no. Now I can achieve this complex nested if statement with an AND function as well. So the way I would do it is, I would again open the if formula and I would say AND. The way AND works is, you can give multiple conditions and it will give you a true or false if only all the statements are true. Now I can check if the region is West, comma, if the sales is greater than $250. If both these conditions are met, it will result in a true, and the value when it results a true is yes. And if both the statements do not get satisfied, I need a no. So when I put an enter, Excel gives me the exact solution when both the conditions are met. Now when I Control C and Control V, rather when I copy and paste, I get the exact results of when I use the nested if statement. Now let's look at a OR function. Now the condition is that I need all sales reps who had sold more than $500, or they should be from the technology. So if either of them is true, Excel should give me a S. The way I would do it is, if or the technology is an S, or the sales is more than $500, then if either of these logic checks are satisfied, I need an S. If not, I need a no. When I do that, Excel actually gives me a solution where the logic of sales rep should either be from technology or have sales more than $500. I get a result of either of these conditions being satisfied. Now we're going to look at a couple of the error handling formulas. So for example, when you divide a certain number by 0, Excel actually results in a division by 0 error. And the way you can handle such errors are using an IFError function. Now what happens is, if I use an IFError function, and if there are certain errors due to numerical issues or validation issues, then I can say Excel or ask Excel to give me a value that can be standardized. So for example, I can say if it is an error value in the cell, particular cell, then give me a error. Uh, if it's a particular, if the cell results in a particular error value, then actually you can ask Excel to give a standardized error description. When I press enter, Excel actually provides me error rather than this division by 0. Now I can do this by saying if 10 divided by 0, then give me an error. So when I do that, Excel, rather than giving division by 0 error, provides me a standardized description with error. Now we are going to look at a formula called IFNA. For this we are going to inject a VLOOKUP formula, which we will discuss in detail in one of the other sessions, but let's assume you know the VLOOKUP formula. The VLOOKUP formula looks for Amy's sales and then provides the output, which is this 300. Now for example, if I copy and paste Shelley here, Excel says that Shelley is not present in this database. And the way I would handle such errors is using an IFNA. Now before the VLOOKUP formula, I would say IFNA and then the VLOOKUP formula. If it results in NA, I would say not available. And when I do that, rather than providing an NA error, Excel actually provides me a standard not available descriptions, which I asked Excel to do so. Having seen the error handling functions, let's see some of the aggregate logic formulas, which are typically SumIf and the SumIfs, AverageIf and the AverageIfs. Now what I would do is to explain you the SumIf function. So for example, I want the sum of sales of all these representatives from the West region. The way I would do this is use the SumIf, and then first is the range. So I want the range to be where I want to check the criteria, and then now the criteria should be West, and the sum range is the sales column. When I press enter, Excel actually provides me with the sum of all of the sales that the reps did in the West region. So let's say I want to check multiple criteria, all of the sales in the West region and related to technology. And the way I would do it is use a SumIfs formula, and right now I would have to first select the sum region, unlike the SumIf formula where I had to select the criteria region first. Now comes the criteria region. So the first criteria region is this, and then I need to check for the West region. And the second criteria region would be the technology column. Then I would have to say whether it's an S. And what happens is Excel provides me with the sum of all sales done in the West and in the technology. So as from the data we can see that there is only one row where both the conditions are satisfied, and Excel results the sum of that. Now similarly we have the AverageIf and the AverageIfs formula, where Excel results in the average of sales across the selection criteria. Now for example, if I use the same formula here, Control C, and then I use it here and just change the sum to average. What Excel provides is, instead of the sum of all of the sales, it provides the average of the sales in the West region. Now similarly, I can do the AverageIfs function. Now I would write the full function, AverageIfs. Again, we would select the range where we need the average, which would be the sales column, and then the criteria range one is this, where the region would be the West, and the technology column where we need an AS. So what happens is Excel provides me with a solution where it is calculating the average of all sales in the West and related to technology. Hope this video was helpful. Please post your feedback or any questions in the comments section. Thank you.